video number 2. I realised 2 things after I did the first one. Firstly, that I need to loosen up a little bit, not be quite so freaked out by having a camera in front of me. And secondly, I realised that even the reversing camera on my car gives a better image than my laptop camera that I used last time. So I'm not using the car, but I'm using my phone. Don't know why I didn't think of that initially, but hopefully the quality is a little bit better and the sound particularly will be a little bit better. So what I thought I'd give you for this one is just a very quick 10-minute spinal mobilizer. These are just a series of moves to help you loosen up when your back's a little bit tight. That it doesn't have to be done as a sequence. You can pick any or none or all of them and do them whenever you like. So it's not a big major program, this one, just a quick little loosen up for the back. So have a start by laying down and settling yourself into the floor. So a little wriggle, nice and relaxed. Bit of a sigh away, letting yourself go. And then when you're ready, nice and gently bringing your knees up into your chest like we normally do, holding on to your knees and just having a gentle rock across your back, side to side. And this is meant to feel nice. So if it doesn't, rock a little bit softer, go a little bit more gently, but it's really just used as an initial little loosen up for the lumbar spine. Then just as gently circling the knees round and round. Then changing direction, circle the other way. Bringing your knees into the centre, breathing in, giving them a squeeze in towards you as you breathe out. Then releasing that squeeze, letting your feet come down onto the floor. We're going to do just the most basic of spine twists, just to get a little bit of movement in a twisting action through the spinal column itself. So tuck your feet up nice and close to your bottom, feet together, knees together. Arms resting right out wide from your shoulders on the floor. Then breathing in and nice and gently letting your knees roll all the way over to the right and turning your head to the left as you breathe out. When you get there, let yourself soften. Let the shoulders go. Let your back relax into that turn as much as you can. Then nice and smoothly come back to the centre. Breathing in, take the knees to the left this time, head to the right, softening and relaxing to breathe out. And we'll do 2 more each side. So back to the centre to breathe in, knees to the right again, head to the left, breathing out. To the centre again. Breathing in, keep going, knees to the left, head to the right, breathing out. And just 1 more each way. So breathing into the centre, all the way over, breathing out. And last one, breathing into the centre, knees to the left, head to the right, breathing. And then just come back to the centre there, breathing in and letting your back just settle. Let those arms relax beside you again. So now we're going to do a little bit of lengthways movement through the spine, which technically, anatomically, isn't quite the correct way to express it. But we're going to do a little bit of a peel up and down up off the floor, bringing a little bit of mobility through the length of the spine. And then we're going to do a little bit of a stability exercise, holding the spine a bit steadier and repeating a similar action just to get a sense of control as well. So for this one, start with your feet close to your bottom, but about hip width apart. So you want a few inches gap between your feet and between your knees, hands just resting down into the floor beside you. And we're going to think of this as peeling the spine upwards and downwards off the floor. So start by just gently tucking your tailbone under, and then smoothly start to float your hips all the way towards the ceiling. Breathing in as you go, and then peeling your spine all the way back down to the floor. Breathing out. And we're going to do 3 more, just the same. So nice and smooth, peeling up to breathe in, and peeling all the way down to breathe out. 2 more, breathing in, hips floating up nice and smoothly, and peeling down again, breathing out. Last one, peeling the spine smoothly up off the floor, breathe in, and peeling all the way down again, breathing out. And then just give the legs a little bit of a stretch out, a little bit of a wriggle out on the floor there. So we're going to do a similar looking action to that, but this time instead of peeling the spine up and down in a fluid sort of snaking motion, we're going to try and maintain a little bit of stability along the length of the spine and bring the movement or focus of the movement much more through the hips. So start in the same way, feet up flat on the floor, knees bent, and again feet about hip width apart, hands resting down onto the floor beside you. Now this time, have a think about how your spine is resting on the floor. You'll find it's a relatively straight line, and it's got pretty much its natural curve in the lower or lumbar spine there. So there might be a little gap under your lower back. You don't want the shape of the spine to change with this one. We're going to bring the hips up and down off the floor, but the spine's going to maintain its integrity and its stability through its length. So, very carefully, instead of peeling up off the floor, we're just going to start to raise the hips, nice and slow and carefully. And this time you stop when the front of your body is a nice straight line. You breathe in and just carefully lower your back down to the floor again to breathe out. And just keep going with that. It's a careful, steady movement, maintaining the integrity, if you like, or the stability through the length of your spine. So in other words, as you're moving up and down, you're not sagging or bending in the middle at all. That distance between the top of your pelvis and the bottom of your rib cage doesn't change. It doesn't squash up or collapse. Maybe just 2 more like that. Just careful, controlled movements. Last one, carefully moving up and down. And then, once you're down, bringing your knees up into your chest again, hold on to the knees, and another little rock, side to side. And then softly letting your feet come down, rolling over onto one elbow, and just bringing yourself all the way back up to sit. So, not too long to go, we're about halfway through. We're going to come over into cat, loosen up the back with our normal little cat movement, and then just really a little bit of a thread the needle action. So, come over onto all fours. So squaring yourself up like we normally would, knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. And then just letting your spine soften and dip towards the floor, floating the chin up to breathe in, head floating down, tailbone tucking under. Nice gentle stretch the other way to breathe out. And just keep that going. So dipping, lifting the chin on the inward breath, head floating down, tailbone tucking under gently for the outward breath. And just do 2 or 3 more like that. Just slow and gentle. This one's all about creating a nice, easy movement through the spine. So you're not straining to stretch at each end, it's about the movement in between. And then after your next one, just relaxing back, nice and square into the centre there. And then we're going to do just a careful little thread the movement action. And again, this is to get a little bit of a twist through the spine. So starting from where you are, just nice and square, take your right arm out wide from your shoulder and then turn your rib cage up to the right, looking up the arm. You breathe in, then sweep it down, thread it under your other arm, let your shoulder and your head rest on the floor and let your arms relax as you breathe out. Then take the left hand and float that up to the ceiling behind you. Breathe in and wrap it gently around the back of your waist. Breathing out. And just an extra 1 or 2 breaths here. Then taking that back hand back up to the ceiling again. Breathing in and bring it back onto the floor, just near your face somewhere, to breathe out. Then we straighten up onto the left arm and sweep the right one out and back up again. You breathe in and come back to the floor, squaring yourself up again to breathe out. All right, opposite side. So, left arm out wide, turning the rib cage up to the left, breathing in, sweeping the arm down, thread it under the other one, head, shoulder and arms relaxing to the floor to breathe. Then right hand floats to the ceiling, breathe in and you wrap it carefully around the back of your waist, breathing out. Back to the ceiling, breathing in and hand back onto the floor to breathe out. Then straightening up onto that right arm, sweeping the left out and up. You breathe in and back to the floor, squaring up again to breathe out. Perfect. So come back and have a seat, just sitting on your bottom nice and comfortably. You don't have to have your legs crossed for this one. If you prefer them out wide on the floor, that's okay too. We're again just going to do a little bit of twist to bring some movement through the spine itself. So more important to have the legs comfortable and a sense of yourself being comfortably upright. Now from wherever the legs are, take your right hand onto your left knee and then your left hand over the top onto the right. And just make sure you haven't slumped when you've done that. You're still back up nice and tall. Then starting with your left hand, we're going to sweep that out wide from your shoulder and look down the length of your arm. Breathe in, then follow it all the way around behind you and just softly tuck it around the back of your waist, letting your shoulders relax as you breathe out. Now this isn't meant to be a really super hard twist. Keep it comfortable. If you've overextended a little bit, gone a bit too far, just ease off. So we're going to add just a very gentle neck movement to it as well. So keeping your shoulders nice and soft. You can close your eyes if you like. Just have a very gentle nod of your head up and down. And try to make that movement as comfortable and relaxed as you can. And then just bringing your head nice and still again, unwrapping the back arm, breathe in, dive it under your other arm and onto the knee to breathe out. This time the right arm floats wide. Looking down the arm, breathe in, take it all the way around behind you, tucking it softly around the back of your waist, relaxing the shoulders to breathe out. And then when you're ready, just that very soft nod of your head, up and down. Bringing your head still again. Carefully unwrapping that back arm. Breathe in. Dive it under again, just so that you square up properly. And relax to breathe out. And there we go. Just a few quick little movements for the back, just to loosen up, just whenever it starts to get a little bit tight. So thank you all very much. Hopefully the quality of the videos will slowly improve as we go. And I shall see you all soon. See you later.